So I have here with me Omar Hussein, pro MMA fighter with an impressive record of 7-1, now based in Dubai. How are things, my dude?
What's up, man? How you doing? Good to see you.
Good to see you too, man. I'm doing good, enjoying the last day of the week. Friday here, but it's the weekend over there, right?
Yeah, today's the day off here, so it's nice to just be home and not have anything to do today.
Man, that's good. Like you've been training all this time, yeah?
Yeah. So, since my last fight got canceled, so yeah, I was supposed to fight here in Dubai in September 25th, and unfortunately, it didn't happen because I tested positive for Corona. And after my 2 weeks of quarantine, I just been training, waiting for the next fight to be offered or be confirmed.
Yeah, you were supposed to fight on November, right?
Yes, I was. After the last fight got canceled, I was supposed to fight in November, but now it doesn't seem very likely. At least not where I was supposed to fight. But I'm staying ready, training, training daily, just to like basically in fight camp for whatever comes up.
Yeah, it's like is someone calls you, you're ready to get in.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
But what happened? Why did the fight in November never happen?
Uh, there's just different plans. With the organization I'm fighting with, they have just different plans for me, and at the minute, it's not what they have planned out for me. There's big things coming up. The organization is UAE Warriors,
Yeah.
and they have some big things coming up early next year, and that's where they have like some plans for me. Uh, at the minute, I'm trying to stay active, so whatever comes my way, I'm gonna take it.
Good, man. But so is it like a better plan, to wait until next year?
Uh, well, they just announced UAE Warriors Arabia,
Yeah.
which is gonna be the same, which is gonna be basically just like a for, the focus is gonna be more on the other fighters, and that's where they have they want me to be on that instead. But obviously we'll see if I'm gonna wait till January. But I'm itching to fight. I haven't had a fight since January of this year, so I want to just get in there. Been training a lot, been spending a lot of money for training camp, and now it's just time to just go out there and just have fun. That's why we do it.
Of course, man. Of course. I hope you get a call soon. But now you're gonna go back to Cali, right? In a week or 2 weeks time to California.
Yeah. Now, with how things are going, I think best thing to do is go back to California, just sit down for a minute, regroup my thoughts, regroup everything, and just see what comes next.
Of course, man. But is there a plan in Cali over there? Are
Well,
there any fight
honestly,
opportunities now?
since this whole pandemic started, I just been kind of me and my management. We just kind of been kind of like following the UFC wherever they go. As you know, like there's a lot of short notice fights coming. Like a lot of fights being dropped out. A lot of fighters not like testing positive for corona or whatever injuries. So I've been just kind of following the UFC. I was in California early this year when they started with this whole pandemic season. They just do a few fights in Vegas, then they come here, and then they go back.
Hmm.
So the plan was to fight in September here in Dubai and stay in UAE just because the UFC was going to be here. So
Yeah.
that's honestly my main goal. Is just to be ready for the UFC whenever they call me. That's the goal for me.
Of course, of course. Man, that is just like a tough situation. This pandemic has affected the whole world in every way. It's
Absolutely,
just
yeah.
yeah, it's just crazy. Like even though it feels that MMA is still going on, but For example, there are
Yeah,
a lot of people in your a lot of fighters in your position in the same exact position that they cannot find a fight because of what's happening. You know.
yeah, I know. I can. I know a lot of fathers who will. So yeah, like that's the only reason I'm grateful for what I am, for having the managers behind me that I have. And yeah, it's a tough situation, but at the same time, I look at it like, if you look at the UFC, for example, they have had so many new fighters come in, and it's all because of this pandemic,
Yeah.
and they changed so many lives. So as for us, the fighters, I think there's still a lot of opportunity out there, especially with the UFC, which is the biggest organization, which is the goal of every fighter.
Of course. I do wonder that. I know the UFC is the biggest organization when it comes to MMA. It's huge. But I
Yeah.
have to admit there are all other big organizations out there that provide also big opportunities for
Of
fighters, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. A lot of shows are coming back, and putting on shows with no crowds, and that's it's tough to do, but a lot of shows are doing it, and yeah, I mean, Bellator just had a show last night. Uh, I was watching that, and yeah, I mean, UAE Warriors here, they've been putting some great shows, and so many shows around the world. Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with that. MMA has been one of the only sports that's didn't kind of didn't just hold down because of this pandemic. We just kept going, which is it shows you how much people love fighting.
Correct. Yeah, it's just it's entertaining for the fans to watch. It's fun. It's fun for the athletes to train and practice and fight and compete.
Yeah,
You know, it's just for me and for you and for a lot of people. We agree that MMA is just a great sport. Definitely has it has come a long way and it's still a long way for MMA, you know, because technically it's not an official sport, they say, and they have talks about that. And also, they're going, I heard that the International MMA Federation is
yeah,
trying to convert MMA into an Olympic sport. That would be huge if that were to happen.
yeah, and I can see it happening. To be honest, with how much growth it has had in the last few years, I can see it happening. I mean, the amateur MMA scene is actually getting a lot better. Like, I wish I had the same chances with the amateur scene. Like, it wasn't like it is now. Like, there's world championships, there's like legit world championships now, and that didn't exist before. So I can see it happening, and I can see, like, they have judo, they have taekwondo, they have boxing. So I don't see why MMA cannot make it into the Olympics. So I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen eventually, and it brings a lot of eyes, and that
Yeah.
you know. At the end of the day, that's what people care about. Like, that's what they care about, is like, how many eyes is it gonna bring? How much money is it gonna bring? So I think MMA
Yeah.
is a perfect fit.
Definitely, man. Like, let's hope it makes it there. I think I even signed because there was a petition going around on social media. I think I even
Yeah,
signed about it. You know, supporting that MMA should become an Olympic sport and everything. But man, like, it's very interesting the opportunity you're getting for next year by UAE Warriors because
yeah,
I feel that the Middle East talent and the talent from Northern Africa are rising up little by little.
yeah.
And
Of course.
it's time for someone or some company, some promotion, whatever, to shine light on on those talents, man, because there are a lot of good fighters out there in those regions that the world doesn't know about.
Oh yeah, yeah. Of course. I think
Exhibit
the
A
Middle
is
East.
yourself, dude. Exhibit A is you. You're a great
Yeah,
fighter.
exactly. I mean, there's so many out here. There's so many fighters that people kind of know about already, but there's so many that people like don't like, kids who are like 19, 18, 17, who, I train with high level fighters all over the world, and I train with some kids in Jordan, here in UAE, and this it's crazy, like the level of like skill they have. It's unbelievable, and I can't wait. till they get a chance to show that to the world, you know.
For
And I feel like
sure.
it's gonna happen. I feel like the Middle East is gonna be the next region to shine. With obviously the UFC coming here, like choosing Abu Dhabi as like it's basically becoming the home of the UFC, and which shows like UAE warriors here. Uh, a lot of it's bringing a lot of high level fighters in here, and it's gonna show in the next few years.
Man, that's gonna be fantastic. And you know what? JockPharm is gonna be part of that for sure.
Of course,
Man, we're already
absolutely.
having like big plans to enter Dubai, Abu Dhabi. You know that market want to take it. Obviously, we're already working with you, which is a pleasure, man. And we're just like big fans, man. Because like I was telling you, you are a great fighter. You have a very impressive record. Your amateur record is also very good. And you're on a 3-fight winning streak. So damn, man.
Yeah, of
But
course, brother.
that's why they don't. You're not looking for a fight. Nobody wants to fight you right now.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's a fight, man. You're gonna go in there with their. I mean, you have to fight, you know. So
Of course.
I don't know, bro. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things that led into this not having a fight now, but just gotta stay patient, wait for the right opportunity, and just take it.
Yeah, yeah. It's just a. I know it's a tough situation that you're in, man. Because it's easy to say, "Hey, just be patient. It's gonna come," but
Yeah,
it's easier said than done, like they say, right? You know.
of course. Yeah, especially when like you start peaking in training, like you start having those peaks, like peak moments in training where you feel like okay now, like usually when you have a fight camp and you start peaking, that's when you know okay now I'm ready. Now you start resting and then you go fight. But like when you start peaking and then there's nothing coming up, then you just really just overworking your body, overworking your mind. I don't know. I usually like to just have a fight camp, go fight, take a few weeks off, come back, do it again. That's like how I like to do it. Competing for me is just as important, and just training is just training without any competition. It doesn't make any sense, you know.
Of course. No, I completely get you, man. I feel the same way. Even though I have to admit that now at my age, I'm. It's not that I'm super old. I'm 35, but I
Yeah,
definitely am old to start a career in the sport. So what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to like hopefully by next year try to get a couple of fights of MMA, but amateur level, local.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
uh,
Competition is nice.
yeah. So like that was my point. You know, because it's very all my life I've been well, not all my life, but almost all my life I've been into martial arts. I've been to kung fu, kickboxing, BJJ, and so forth. And I have competed all the time. It's very strange for me to just say, okay, I just want to train for the sake of training. You know?
Yeah, it's different. It's not fighting is something like yeah, it's so taxing on the body that if you're just doing it for fun, I would rather just do something else, you know. Like if I was trying to train for fun, I would probably do maybe bodybuilding or
Yeah.
like whatever, something else, not this, because this is so taxing on the body, it's a short window of time that you have to take advantage of. I'm young, but like of course I've been doing this since I had my first amateur fight at 15. So to me, it's like I've been doing fight camp since I was like 15 years old. So it's time for me to get like something out of this, you know?
It will come, man. You know,
Yeah.
again, it's cheesy and everything, but just hold on there, hanging
Of,
there.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
absolutely, man. It is like that.
yeah,
I'm not the first one to go through this, and like I know so many fighters that have had to go the long way to get to where they wanted to get, and it's usually for the better. Honestly, like I have seen it many times happen to a lot of great fighters out there, and I'm just gonna stay patient, wait for my moment, and when it comes, it's gonna come.
of course. Plus, you being always ready for the call shows the discipline that you have, the heart that you have. You know, that your persistence. In the end of the day,
Absolutely.
perseverance is going to be rewarded, bro.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. But Omar, man, tell me more about you, brother. Like you have an interesting background. So you're from Palestine?
Yeah, I was born in Palestine.
Palestine, sorry.
I was born there, and I lived about, I lived my first 10 years there. When I was 10, we immigrated to the States, but we actually went to Puerto Rico.
Okay.
My family, my dad chose Puerto Rico because my uncle was out there, and we went there, and that's where I lived for about like 8 to 9 years, and that's where my MMA journey started, and it was nice because I was fortunate to have to have fights early before anyone could, like usually kids my age, like at that time I was, I started when I was like 12, had my first fight at 15, like first like actual fight, like not like it was like an actual like MMA amateur fight,
Okay.
and they couldn't find anyone my age. So every time I fought, I was fighting guys who were like, I think the youngest guy I fought was 18, but
Oh,
usually it was 20, 21, 24, 27. And it was a very good experience. I was just a kid, but I was fighting grown men, which helped me a lot, going into where I am now. Like, the fighting is something I just, it's implemented in me, like, since I was a kid. And going into the cage, obviously, that feeling of going into the cage is just, it feels so natural to me. And it feels so, like, it's one of the best things, like, it's one of the best times I get when I go in there. It's so crazy. But yeah, Puerto Rico gave me that chance, because in the States you can't fight before 18.
yeah.
Before you turn 18, you can't have any MMA fight, amateur fights. The only thing you can do is bankration, which is like bankration is basically MMA, but like only to the body, no shots to the head at all,
Okay.
which is not the same. It's not. I didn't count that as a fight.
Yeah.
So yeah, Puerto Rico, yeah, it gave me that chance, and also it influenced me in so many ways. The language, like speaking Spanish, is something I always like have. That's like almost it's a skill that I added to my life, and also the culture. The Puerto Rican, they have their own culture. And
We
it
do.
influenced me in so many ways. So I'm very very proud of that. And then after high school, that's when I moved to California, and I wanted to like find a big gym to train at. And also I wanted to get in, like, I like wrestling, but wrestling in Puerto Rico wasn't a thing.
Hmm.
They didn't have that in schools. They didn't have that in college. So that was my plan. When I went to California, I started wrestling in college, and I went to Team Alpha Male,
Okay.
and that's where in Team Alpha Male I spent about like 5 to 6 years. And after 2 years of college, I made the decision to go professional, and since then it's just been full time fighter.
Man, you've been fighting all your life.
Yeah, just it's been a journey. It's been like from Puerto Rico to California to coming here. I lived some time with my. I went back to Jordan actually, like in 2019, to take a break.
Yeah.
Like, I went to Jordan to take a break from everything, just from fighting, from whatever. But it didn't last long. Within like 1 month, I already had a fight lined up in Jordan, and that was eye opening for me. And it was the first time I fought in the Middle East, and all my family just showed up. Like from Palestine, from Jordan. So it was crazy. Like, I never had that kind of feeling. So that made me like never like made me to want to fight in the Middle East all the time. Like, it's such a different feeling when you fight and your family's there. You're
Yes.
like, people are cheering for you, and like, they're bullying for you always. It's different when you fight in the States and you're fighting a guy from the States, and they see my name, Omar Hussein. They're always gonna bully for the other guy.
Yeah.
Same in Puerto
I
Rico.
know what you mean.
Puerto Rico, they always just bully for the other guys because like, I'm not. At the end of the day, I'm not from there. So it was nice to fight here, and from then since that fight in Jordan. I just been here. I've been fighting in Abu Dhabi. I fought twice in Abu Dhabi after that, and then the whole pandemic just started.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow, man. I mean, it's been quite a ride,
yeah,
and it's just like, well, I know how you feel because you're in your amongst people that share your culture, your beliefs, and of
of
course, when
course,
you
yeah,
have a crowd rooting for you, it is motivating. You want to continue, but again, that also tests the mental game of the person, right? And the mental game
yeah.
in everything is very important, especially in MMA. Is very, very important. You know.
Regardless, I always try to win the fans. Whether it's by the fight itself or the way I carry myself. I always, whatever I win, I never had a bad experience with the fans. Like I always have people coming up to me after the fight and they're thanking, like they're very being very appreciative of what they just saw or what they just witnessed. Whatever it's whatever I fought, whether it's here, whether it's in the States, whether it's in Puerto Rico, like everywhere I fought, I have had really good interaction with the fans so far, and I think at the end of the day, people just come to watch a good fight, and if they get that, they don't care where you're from. They don't like that's the beauty of MMA. They don't care. Like if you go in there and leave a good fight, they're not gonna care where you're from, or what you believe in, what your political views are. They don't care about none of that, and that's the beauty of the sport.
I agree. I agree, man. If you make a good performance, the crowd is gonna love you despite of your background, your name, or
Absolutely, yeah,
whatever. Yeah. And then they're gonna like, and it also gives an opportunity when you make a good performance, the crowd starts loving you, and also gives an opportunity for the crowd not only to love you but to understand who you are as a person and not only as a fighter. And that is very important because I feel that so many fans have no idea about all the struggle that fighters have to go through to make it,
yeah,
just to get from getting one fight to just make it to the big times. It's just a hard journey, and it's not for everyone. You can love the sport, but the journey might wear you down, might put you down, might knock you out. The same journey might worn you out. So
yeah.
you not only have to be persistent as an athlete, but as a person, as an example. It's just like you just never have to stop. Continue, 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 no matter how many times you fall down.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. That's the biggest thing is the daily struggle of trying to make it, like not trying to make it, but what you have to do every day. Like for the long time, I had to still work. Like I had to go to like work and then go to school and then still have to find the time to train twice a day. So doing all that, that was a that was a those were some tough times. And even now, like I'm a full time fighter, but still, sometimes you wake up, you go to train, and then like something happened, you didn't get a fight, this and that. It's a struggle, It's not only how talented you are as an athlete. You have to be very, like, you have to be a special kind of human to just stick with it, because at the end of the day, it is fighting you're trying to do, and with all the other stuff that add up to it, it makes it so hard. But that's why it's. If it was easy, I feel like a lot of people would have done it. They say that, but it's actually very, very true.
Yeah, of course. But another good aspect of the whole sport that I think is important for a fighter to know is the business side of it. You know,
Absolutely.
try to understand all those aspects because those matter in the end of the day when you were trying to find representation, when you're trying to find
Hmm.
endorsements, when you're trying to find competitions and all of that. Because sometimes you could be the best, but you will
Yeah.
not get what you deserve. You will get what you signed for. So you gotta know what you're signing into, right?
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I learned that the hard way. Like just be like you have to look out for yourself. It's a business at the end of the day, and it's an individual business. Like no one is gonna look out for you. No team, no coaches. Like no one is like no teammate everyone is looking out for themselves, and you have to really go out there and just work just as hard in the business side of things as you do in training, because if not, you're gonna just what you're gonna just get really good in good shape, but then no one knows about it. Like, what does it doesn't even matter, you know. If you're
Yeah.
not getting the fights you need to get, if you're not getting the endorsement you need to get, if you're not with the manager you need to be with, you know, it's yeah, it's I would say it's 50-50. You know, it's 50% in the gym, and then 50% what you do outside the gym to get your name out there, to get the fights you need to get the deals you need to get. So absolutely, I agree with that.
Yeah, because like without any guidance, without any information to get all that is going to be very hard. You're going to be misleaded, you're going to be cheated probably. You're definitely going to have a bad experience. So you need that, like an athlete needs that guidance, or at least that information, that access to that information on how to move forward with this type of things, how to understand the business aspect of the sport that you're involved. For example, with the marketing, something that is extremely important for an athlete to have in MMA especially is like the social media presence.
Absolutely, yeah. That's something I neglected for so many like years, but I'm starting to understand. Like it's a big bar. It's a big deal. You know, you have to really get on that just as much. You know, like whenever you have free time between training, you have to get on that. Whenever you have to like get to meet like make the right connections with the right people to help you get that. You know, because
Yes.
yeah, people need to know who you are. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter. You know.
People need to know who you are, and people need to work hard on getting their name out there, because for example,
Yeah.
social media, yes, it's important, but it's tough. There is a strategy behind it, of course, but it takes a lot of work, and it takes sometimes it will take time for you to build out the reputation. But not only because you might not do you're not only because you're doing it the wrong way or something like that, but because like there's so much competition on social media, and now with coronavirus, everybody's online. At
Yeah.
the same time, is more opportunity for you to be seen online, right?
Of course. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, man. There's just
It's the
just
future,
crazy.
I think. I mean, it's the now, and it is the future. You know, it's already have taken over. You know, so many things. It didn't used to be like this, but now it is. You know,
Yeah.
so
How are things over there in Dubai with this coronavirus virus? Like, how what precautions are they taking other than
uh,
the usual quarantine?
they're very strict about certain things, but like with the mask, it's very strict here. Uh, you have to wear the mask at all times. Otherwise, it's a fine. You know, it's I think a 3,000 dirham fine, which is like $500.
Wow.
So that's they stick with that. They stick with a lot of regulations here, like uh, but as far as like how open it is, it's pretty much this like open. Like everything is open. You go to the mall, it's back. You go anywhere you go, like restaurants, everything is open. So, but they are very strict with like with the testing before you come in. They test you. You have to be tested before you leave your country. Then when you get here, you get tested again. And yeah, I mean the testing that they provide here is very good. Like compared to like let's say USA, it's actually very like you can get tested here and have the results within 6 hours. Which is
Okay.
amazing.
Well, yeah.
So yeah, they're very strict, but at the same time, because they are strict, they're not like shutting down like businesses. They're not locking down the people. Like people are out doing whatever they want to do.
Hmm.
So it's kind of nice. It's actually good from that side.
Basically, what's working is just people are just following the rules, man.
Yeah, that's the thing. You follow the rules of you take the precautions you need to take, and that's all. That's all it is. There's not. It's the virus is. I had the virus. It's a normal virus. It's it's whatever, but you have to take the precautions. You just have to follow the rules and you'll be fine.
Yeah, absolutely. But so how is it though? Like you arrive to Dubai and then you gotta be locked up for 2 weeks, right? In quarantine.
I No, no, no. I think if you're I'm not sure if they changed that, because when I got here in September, it wasn't like this, and I came in July too, and it wasn't like this. It was more like you just test in your home country, and you have to be negative, and then when you get here, you have to get tested again, and if that you maybe you have to, yeah, maybe like lock yourself down in the hotel room for
Yeah.
like that 12-hour period till you get the results of the airport one, of the one you get tested when you get here.
Hmm.
And if you're negative, you're good. If you're positive, then obviously you have to quarantine.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Cause like man, I really want to fly out there, and now with the project that we're having with in Dubai,
yeah.
the only reason why we haven't traveled to Dubai, me and the team, is because of the whole they closed the borders and all this, you know. So it's very tricky.
They might have changed some things. I'm not sure because I've been here and I haven't really checked. But they change it every once in a while. Like, yeah, they maybe I think they did something for a while where it was anyone coming in has to quarantine. But I'm not sure if that's still the case.
Okay.
Yeah,
Omar, your fight name 187.
yeah.
What's that about? Tell us what the meaning of that.
Would be 187. Basically, it's what it means. It's the penal code. For like when police have penal codes for every case, every whatever. So the penal code for like a murder case would be 187.
Okay.
Yeah, and I got that nickname from one of my friends, Alexandrova. He fought in the UFC, and he used to call me that all the time. I actually didn't even know what it meant at the time, but he used to call me that all the time when I'm sparring, and I had to like just one day like go ask him like what does that even mean, and he was like look it up, and I did, and I was like okay, that's actually like very cool,
That
and I
is
just
actually
stuck
cool.
with
Very
it.
creative name. Like you're a killer, man.
Yeah, I mean, and I stuck with it. I like how it rhymes. Like I like the how it sounds. It's really so you just got keep keep going with it.
Man, cool, man. That is very creative nickname, man. I like it. What's the
Uh,
the logo that you have there?
that is the 187. So it should be like the one and then the eight in the middle and then the seven.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I use that. It's on on my social media. It's everywhere. A good friend of mine did it for me, and just yeah, trying to get it out there, trying to make it my own thing.
Why on earth haven't you sent me the logo yet, bro?
I would, but
Please do, man.
yeah, yeah. I'm trying to. This is what's supposed to be the shirt for my last fight, but then we're trying to get some, trying to make some adjustment to it, maybe. But then, yeah,
All right, man. I'm assuming also the Bandax, the wraps hasn't arrived yet.
no, 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 not yet.
Okay, man, that's gotta be cool. I heard very good reviews about that product. The material is very nice. So let us know when it arrives.
Absolutely, I'm waiting for it.
All right, cool, man. And like, yeah, there's gonna be some future projects for us to do. We'll talk about that later, bro. But now I'm gonna have to let you go. It was a
Thank you for that.
pleasure having you, man. You know we love you here in JockPharm. And
Thank you,
but
bro.
hey, before we say goodbye, do you want to give any shout outs to somebody or someone's?
Uh, I just wanna, yeah. I mean, shout out to Jock Farm. Shout out, thank you for having me on, brother. And honestly, I just want to say, like, for the people that are tuning in, just stay patient with me, and my next fight is gonna be big. Whatever it might be, it's gonna be big, and what comes after it is gonna be even bigger. So that's the only thing I can ask for the people is just to like stick up with me.
Man, we're gonna be right there by your side all the way.
Of course, for that.
All right,
Thank you, man.
take care, bro.
Thank you for that. Thank you for having me on.
You do. Thank you, man. It was a pleasure having you. Have a good one.
You too, brother. You too.
Bye.